Have you ever wondered why truth can stand silently while power shouts questions it already fears to answer? What happens when innocence is placed on trial by fear, politics, and the hunger to please the crowd? And what does the silence of Jesus before judges teach us about faith when life feels unfair? Jesus stood bound before Pilate, not because he lacked power, but because love chose restraint. The religious leaders brought him with urgency, their accusations sharp and relentless. They did not come seeking justice. They came seeking confirmation of a verdict already decided in their hearts. To them, Jesus was not the Son of God, not a teacher of truth, but a threat to their control. They accused him of misleading the nation, opposing taxes to Caesar, and claiming kingship. Each charge was carefully shaped to provoke Roman fear. Yet behind every word was insecurity, envy, and hardened pride. Pilate listened, but not with conviction. He questioned Jesus directly, asking if he was the king of the Jews. Jesus answered calmly, not with denial or defense, but with measured truth. Pilate quickly realized something did not add up. This man did not look like a rebel. He showed no ambition for political power, no call to violence, no trace of rebellion. Pilate found no guilt in him. Yet knowing the truth did not make Pilate courageous. Knowing innocence did not free him from fear. The crowd grew louder. Accusations multiplied. Pilate, seeking an escape from responsibility, learned that Jesus was from Galilee. That single detail gave him an opportunity to avoid judgment. He sent Jesus to Herod, who governed Galilee and happened to be in Jerusalem at the time. Truth was passed from one authority to another, not because it was unclear, but because no one wanted to bear its cost. Herod was curious, not reverent. He had long wanted to see Jesus, hoping for signs, miracles, something entertaining. He questioned Jesus at length, but Jesus said nothing, not a word. The silence was not weakness, it was judgment. Herod, who sought spectacle rather than repentance, received none. Surrounded by mocking soldiers, Jesus was ridiculed, dressed in a splendid robe, and sent back to Pilate. The King of Glory was treated like a joke by earthly power. Herod and Pilate became friends that day, united not by truth, but by shared indifference to it. This is one of the quiet tragedies of the passage. When righteousness is ignored, alliances form around convenience. Silence before injustice often strengthens bonds among those who benefit from it. Pilate now faced the crowd again. He declared openly that neither he nor Herod found any basis for condemning Jesus. Justice stood plainly before the people. Yet the crowd did not want justice. They wanted release without reflection, satisfaction without truth. It was the feast time, a moment when a prisoner could be freed. Pilate offered Jesus, but the crowd cried out for Barabbas. Barabbas was guilty, a man involved in rebellion and murder. He represented the kind of power the crowd understood, violent, defiant, familiar. Jesus represented a different kingdom, a kingdom not built on swords, but on truth, humility, and sacrifice. Faced with the choice, the people chose what felt strong rather than what was right. Pilate tried again. He reasoned, he pleaded, he even proposed punishment without execution. But the cries grew louder, "Crucify him!" Over and over, the voices of fear drowned out the voice of conscience. Pilate saw the danger of unrest. He feared losing his position, and so he handed Jesus over to their will. This moment reveals something deeply uncomfortable. Injustice does not always win because it is powerful. Often it wins because good people remain undecided too long. Pilate did not believe Jesus deserved death, yet he allowed it. Knowing the truth is not the same as standing for it. Jesus did not resist. He did not call angels. He did not demand fairness. He walked the path set before him. This was not surrender to injustice, but submission to the Father's will. Through human courts corrupted by fear and pride, God's redemptive plan was unfolding. In this passage, we see ourselves reflected in many ways. Sometimes we are like the religious leaders, protecting our image instead of seeking truth. Sometimes we are like Pilate, knowing what is right but afraid of the consequences. Sometimes we are like Herod, curious about Jesus but unwilling to change. And sometimes we are like the crowd, swayed by emotion, choosing what is easy rather than what is holy. Jesus before Pilate and Herod reminds us that silence can be faithful, and suffering can be purposeful. It teaches us that God's justice is not limited by human failure. Even when truth is mocked, beaten, and rejected, it is not defeated. The cross did not mark the end of Jesus' authority. it revealed it. This story also challenges us in our daily lives. When we face unfair treatment, when truth costs us comfort, when standing for Christ means standing alone, we remember Jesus stood silent, not because he was powerless, but because he trusted the Father completely. Faith is not proven in moments of applause, but in moments of pressure. Jesus showed us that obedience matters more than vindication, that love may suffer, but it never loses its purpose. As followers of Christ, we are called not just to admire his sacrifice, but to reflect his courage, to speak truth with humility, to choose righteousness over popularity, to trust God when outcomes seem unjust. The trial before Pilate and Herod asks us a hard question. When truth stands before us, what will we do with it? Thank you for watching this video on Holy Path Insights. If this message helped you reflect more deeply on the life of Jesus, please like the video, follow the channel, and share it with someone who needs encouragement today. May your path be guided by truth, courage, and faith.